Oh my goodness, welcome back. It's episode 7, and if I sound a little nasally, it's because I am. There are all kinds of boogers in my nose right now, which is very unfortunate, especially in light of what we learned in the last episode. Anyways, yes, I know what I'm going to do in this one, which is special because usually I don't know what I'm going to do until I start doing stuff and then I figure it out. But I know what we're going to do in this one right now. We are going to build a soil to scrap factory on Atrox, and the reason we're building it on Atrox is because that's where our rover is that gets soil, and the reason our rover that gets soil is on Atrox is because we don't want to destroy the home planet, because we actually like the home planet. Anyways, yeah, setting up a soil to scrap base on Atrox. Sorry. Atrox. Setting up a soil to scrap base on Atrox is going to be much easier now that we have a large shuttle, but we're gonna want to unpack our like atmospheric condenser get up here and actually take what we're gonna want to specifically get a base set up. And so whenever I figure out what that is, I'll let you know. Okay, so for starters, we're going to put this on here because we're just going to want a bunch of storage so we can take a bunch of things to set up a bunch of things. But yeah, so if we're doing a soil to scrap factory, we obviously need the large shredder. So yeah, the large shredder is going to be unlocked. We'll also need a trade platform because that's what scrap is used for. So that'd be pretty nice. So yeah, I'm just going to take all of that stuff with us. And so we have a trade platform crafting here. And the beautiful thing is, yes, we're crafting a trade platform here. We have a large shuttle now, so we don't have to take stuff to make printers to Atrox and then print the stuff there, which takes kind of a while. We can instead use my good and actually working home planet base to craft the stuff, and then we can just fit it on this shuttle and take it with us so that we can just set up the base once we get there instead of taking what we need to set up the base. So, very fun indeed. Also, I'm running low on exo chips, and exo caches are not fun. They're just not fun. They're not even really that hard to get, but they're not fun to get. So, in some of the next episodes, I might actually make a, we might do something with Astronium, right? So we can have that because Astronium's cool. And actually, might do a little foreshadowing here. Honestly, we might put an auto extractor on some Astronium since that means we can extract Astronium automatically. But I don't know that for sure, just saying that might be something we end up doing. Also, for those of you wondering why I have been putting off doing an actual storage system instead of this, is because putting a bunch of medium resource canisters in an array here probably wouldn't be that interesting of a video, so I'm kind of trying to wait to see if maybe I could do an auto-sorting storage system so that I can make a video on that, because that's actually interesting to watch. But yeah, who knows with me? I'm one of those people who have like an 80 IQ. But yes, enough rambling, which is my favorite thing in the world to do, but I'm going to hold off for just a few minutes here until basically I get the shuttle here full. So the next time you see me, it should be that the shuttle's full with the stuff that we need. And then, yeah, the shuttle's going to be full with the stuff that we need. Okay, I lied, which I usually do when I say that I'm going to be back when certain thing happens. But this time it's a good reason, because I just realized we don't want to take the trade platform there. Yes, scrap is useless without a trade platform, but I actually want to get the scrap on Atrox and then ship it back to the home planet in large resource canisters. But yeah, that's my plan. I want to just bring a bunch of scrap back, which is not inefficient. That may sound inefficient to get it on one planet and bring it back, but you can fit a lot of stuff on a large shuttle, so we should be able to bring back hundreds and hundreds, honestly thousands of scrap probably. So it's not that big of a problem. We're just going to have the trade platform here because I like having everything on the home planet that I can. All right, here we are finally back. It's been a little while for me because I've been scheming, and I think we now have everything we need. But the thing about me and trying to get everything I need to go do something is that I usually forget something. But I think we're pretty good here. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. So I got a large shredder, a smelting furnace, 2 large platform A's and 2 large platform B's, as well as 4 medium generators, 4 auto arms, and then this resource canister full, not full, but it's got carbon in it, just so we can start off with these generators and not have to wait till we get the system set up. Then I have 5 medium platform A's, a medium storage, a tapper, and a beacon. So yeah. Yeah. Anyways, May as well get going, because if I forgot something, then apparently I don't have the ability to remember it until it's too late, so we're just gonna go on ahead and find out later, whenever it matters. And yes, I am doing this in a separate base from our automatic research base, just because I don't want them to be together, and since I don't want to end up drilling with our rover too close to that base, I want to land on sort of the opposite side of the planet over here, so that it won't be anywhere nearby. And so the obvious issue with that is that the rover, right? The rover that we use to dig soil is at the other base, which is now on the other side of the planet. But, yeah, I guess that's a me problem. I have to figure out what we're going to do about that. Anyways, if I did not bring everything I was supposed to set up this base, we are going to find out very, very soon. But first, I need a little bit of a flat spot here, so I didn't bring any soil. Great. We're going to have to do it just like this, and hopefully I can get it looking pretty nice here. And so yes, we're doing a new medium generator, like automatic system, where we use a plant and a tapper and all that fun stuff to make sure that we forever have our generators running all by themselves. And great, I don't get any power from the ship, so I can't use my widen boost mod to do this. Anyways, yes, we're going to be building that generator system so that we always have, like, I think it's 36. Yeah, 36 units of power a second all the time, which is good. We probably don't need that much, but I like to add all 4 medium generators every time I do this system, because why not? We may need more later. And then obviously that's going to connect to our system that just takes our soil, and the soil centrifuge automatically turns that into scrap with auto arms and scrappers and magical maneuvers such as that. And then in the end, basically, we're going to have a soil yeah, that's what I didn't bring. We need a resource canister to hold the scrap at the end of the system. But that's okay. We'll figure that out later. But yes, that's what it does. It just puts all the scrap in a resource canister so that we can bring it back with us to the home planet. But you know what? I probably don't need to do that yet anyways, because I would want to do a large resource canister, which means I need nanocarbon alloy, which means I can't do it yet because I don't have nanocarbon alloy. So I'm going to build the scrap thing first and then put the resource canister at the end. But yeah, I think this is a good enough flat spot to begin. So I heard a rumor in this world that you can just attach tappers to hostile plants. And I don't know if it's true. So I'm going to... Oh, you can. And so that's just as good as the honey pot. So I'll just try not to get close, I guess. Just stay away from that and let it do its thing forever. Very efficient, though. That's like... No, that's better than the honey pot. That's like really fast. That's a really fast way to get organic. So, fun fact, several people were telling me about that, and I just didn't know. So, that's pretty interesting, given that I covered the tapper in an update video, and then I didn't tell you that, but you told me that instead. Anyways, yes, the first thing we are going to want, obviously, is an auto arm to grab that off of there. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, this right here with an auto arm on top of it to grab the organic, and we are going to filter it, obviously, with an organic. So, boom, just like that. Next up is going to be our platform, and it's about to be nighttime on Aatrox, and for those of you who don't know, you can't see on Aatrox at night, pitch dark, and somebody told me, I forgot about this, somebody told me I should get a work light crafted so that everyone can see in the dark, but I forgot, so whoopsie, we're just going to be in the pitch black. But yes, the next thing is the furnace so that it smelts the organic, which leads obviously to another auto arm, which is going to pick up the carbon from the smelting furnace after the smelting furnace turns the organic into carbon, meaning we are going to want to filter that with a carbon, and I did bring some carbon as I already stated, so let's just use that right now because I have OCD and I cannot wait. Then we end up at the large platform B once and for all, which is where we have medium generators at, which are going to produce the power. So since I brought my own carbon, we can just get started with producing power right now, which means this system will become self-sustained basically instantaneously, because all of this at max power is going to start doing its thing very, very soon. Should have brought an oxygenator as well. It's just sort of annoying that I have to go back to the shuttle for oxygen and it's not connected to the base, but all of that can be dealt with later. Really no big deal at all. But here we are, and I forgot to grab the actual organic. What just happened? It bugged out. It thought we had power for just a second because I unpacked the... That's creepy. Anyways, yeah, all I need is 4 carbon from this, and then I can just leave the rest because I just need to get these started, and then they'll start doing their own thing. So, perfect. Here we go. Look how fast that is. That's ridiculous. That looks faster than the honeypot to me. It might be the same speed, though. I think it's faster. That's insane. But yes, obviously the rest of this is going to pertain to how we do the soil to scrap thing, which I've done a lot of times on my channel, and a lot of people already know how to do. But now we're setting it up on Aatrox, which is a little weird for me. I usually do it on the home planet until I realize that it's easy to do a lot of damage to your planet really, really fast when you use the drill on the front of your rover, which is way better than using the crane, unfortunately. I like using the crane more, but it's not as good, so I just don't. But when you use the drill on the front of the rover, it does a lot of damage very quickly, so it's kind of like something you don't want to do on the home planet. Yeah, so I was zoned out the whole time I said that, is why it took me 4 minutes, but also I was stressing out because I realized while I was speaking that I forgot the soil centrifuge, right? So yeah, a lot of things I forgot. I forgot a resource canister, a soil centrifuge, and an oxygenator, which the oxygenator isn't really necessary, but since I got to go back anyways, I'll just go back and get all that. It's not really a big deal, though, now that we have the hydrazine thruster. It's really not that big of a deal to make multiple trips. It just hurts my feelings that I'm so slow inside the head that I have to, well, I just can't remember nothing. All right, so for a work light, we need copper, which means I wouldn't do it. But, I already have one, so, I mean, I am lazy, but also lucky. I don't really know where I got that copper, but I have it, and so, work light. Everybody gets to be happy now. So, put that there, and, where do I put that? Did I sacrifice one of these for now? I think I sacrificed one of those for now and put it on my shoulder. That's much nicer. Hopefully we can see on Aatrox now, at least for like 3 feet in front of us. All right, we're bringing back the stuff that we left behind. And so hopefully now we can throw this whole thing together really quickly. But another reason I want to speak, right now is because I just wanted to share that I'm really, really stressed about having to get that rover over here without an RTG, because the reason I'm building the soil to scrap thing is because I just didn't want to go gather the stuff I needed for an RTG, even though I only need like one more thing for an RTG. So I was like, hey, it'd be neat if I could just combine me getting nanocarbon alloy into a soil to scrap video. But now I'm realizing that since I only have a solar panel for the rover that has our soil on it, I'm just gonna have to drive it over here with a solar panel on Aatrox, where nighttime lasts 18 billion years. Man, I can't wait to do that. In fact, that's so bad, I might just go get one nanocarbon alloy manually and then use the rest of the soil to get the other nanocarbon alloy. Because you know what? Life's hard when you sit here stressing about that. But yes, for those of you who do not know, what we're doing is we are getting this soil centrifuge to always craft resin, right? And then we take that resin with an auto arm, which is going to be here, and for aesthetics, we'll make it literally be there, but not on the platform yet, because I'm too lazy. Just kidding. Just realized how easy that would be. Just like this, we will have this auto arm right here, and we'll obviously filter it, because if you didn't know, that's what I've been doing this whole time. If you put something in the middle of an auto arm, it only picks up that thing. So this one's only picking up carbon. We will put we will need to put a soil canister, right, in the middle of this, so that it only picks up soil canisters. And so that's how we're going to make sure that it only picks up the soil canisters that we craft from the resin that's in here. I'm dying, so hang on a second. Because another thing you need, and I did forget this as well, is a small printer. Because basically what we're doing is we are putting the small printer, if I could find it, we just need one compound for it. We put it here, and then it automatically takes the resin from this, then crafts it into small soil canisters. Then that's when this picks it up. It picks it up after it gets crafted from that, and then it just scraps those. And so, yeah. Sort of scrap just like that. No big deal at all. And so we're going to want something like this right here. And so these need to be spread out a little further, because what happens is the soil canisters need to be crafted onto one of these right here, because there needs to be enough room for all 8 resin we're going to get from this when it's full of soil. We're going to get 8 resin, and all of those are going to be soil canisters. So we need enough spots for all of them to craft onto, or they'll just craft loose on the ground, and then when you load into the area and stuff. I have an oxygenator. Why do I keep letting myself suffocate? Anyways, when you load back into the area and stuff, they'll like clip through the ground if they're not on this. So you do want to make sure that they are crafting onto a platform just like this. I'm just going to put this. Don't know where to put this, actually. Yeah, I just don't have anywhere to put this. That's unfortunate. But that's okay. I already got to get compound because I forgot to bring a small printer. So I'll just make this small printer. And then there we go. This is where it goes. We find, I forgot the controls for a second, started opening random stuff. We find ourselves small canister, set it to automatically craft. And as you can see, that's how you make it craft onto this. You just put it where it can, right? It just automatically crafts onto a platform if it's in a range. So there we go. That'll be enough storage to hold all 8. And so here we go. Now, something I would like to explain really quick is that something I discovered basically when making our soil to nanocarbon alloy video, where I designed a thing that turns soil into nanocarbon alloy automatically, is that if you don't have enough storage for all the scrap that you're making your soil make, right? Then the soil canisters over here will continue to craft, and then this gets overran, and then a big pile forms. But I don't think we're going to have that issue with this one because we're going to be crafting, we're going to be just putting them into a storage canister, right? We're just going to put them into a resource canister. So nothing will really get backed up until that's full, in which case that's probably not going to be that big of a deal. You can just come back through and clean this up manually because you're going to be here to take the canister anyways. This isn't like as big of a problem as it would be with the nanocarbon alloy factory is what I'm trying to say, so I'm not going to create a failsafe for it like we had to for it, because I feel like that's more effort than it's worth in this instance. Yeah, there's like a piece of grass sticking out of my phone case, so I can't put my phone on charge, and I don't know how to get to it without taking the phone case off, and I'm not taking the phone case off, so I'm just like, what do you do in life? It's really in there too, man. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Huh. Forgot I was making a video. Oh! What? Wait, this falls off. Huh? How did that fall off? It ruined everything. Wait a second, is that like a thing with these? Do you just not use those because they suck? I'm gonna go find a honey pot just in case. I really want to know how this went south. Alright, whatever, doesn't matter. In case that happens again, we're gonna have the real deal sitting here beside it in case we gotta use that, so we'll use a honey pot if we need to. And in case I didn't make that clear earlier, these are just on Aatrox, and that's where we are, so how convenient. The best harmless plant in the game is this right here, and you can just find it anywhere at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this is what it looks like. It's bigger in the wild because this one's still growing, but yeah, that's what it looks like. So there you go, fun fact for you. Man, this video has been a mess, and it's about to get worse because I've decided, yes, I am indeed going to go after nanocarbon alloy manually so that I can get an RTG for the rover, because I'm not driving that thing all the way around the planet with a solar panel. That's not happening. It's not. But yes, hopefully I can recap right now, make it a lot more obvious. I need 2 nanocarbon alloy, 1 for an RTG, 1 for a large resource canister. The RTG is to get our rover to the soil to scrap area, and the large resource canister is so that we can store the scrap from the soil to scrap thing. So, also another reason why you should always filter your auto arms is because sometimes if you're doing random stuff, like look how I'm storing my things here. If I were to instance put this somewhere like right here, this could become a very ugly picture very quickly. So, yep. That's the reason why you want to do that. You never know what's going to be put where, and sometimes bombs can happen. Oh, though, here's what I'm going to do, because I just realized this is a good idea. I'm going to take an empty medium soil canister with me when I go get the rover. I'm going to put this in the shuttle, so that when we get the rover back, I can just trade out an empty one for a full one, right? And so that, to me, is a good idea, because I just zoned out, but you understand what I'm saying, because I don't want to gather soil manually on the home planet when I use my soil centrifuge. I'm going to use soil from the rover, so we're just going to trade those out. Good idea, I'm smart. I thanked the head for once. But we are about to craft the one and only beautiful RTG. I think I didn't unlock it. Where is it at? We need to find it and unlock it so that we can have it. That actually almost took off my bites, but that's okay, because as you see right here, we always get those all the time. Kind of interesting, though, that I could not afford that at the start of the video, but I can now. So, automatic bites is doing its job. That's pretty good. Anyways, here it is, and this is just a big moment for me, because if any of you saw the video where I was gathering soil in the rover, doing that with a solar panel wasn't... It hurt my feelings, okay? That's what it did. It hurt my feelings. But that's okay, because now we have an RTG, which is a solar panel that works at night, basically. So, always power. All the time. Just because it exists. And while the tapper makes it so that we don't need RTGs for bases anymore, it doesn't matter, because it's still very useful for vehicles. And honestly, I'll probably switch to RTGs eventually anyways, even for bases like this, because nanocarbon alloy just isn't hard to get in the late game. But right now, it's kind of hard to get. I think we have everything we need. We don't need to take this anymore because we have carbon being generated on that planet, on Aatrox already, because we set up that system. So, this is for what? What is that for? That's for the auto arm to put the stuff into the resource canister, so that doesn't matter right now. What matters right now is retrieving What matters right now is retrieving the large rover. And the obvious issue with that, right, is that I land at our automatic research base, right? Because that's where the rover's at. It's at the automatic research base. So I land there, then I drive the rover to the other base. Pretty simple, right? But the problem is, how do I, yeah, how do I get back to the shuttle again after I do that? Yeah. Wait a second. I didn't think this through. I'm going to go back to the home planet and scheme again. I have a very, very weird plan. And, yeah, that's just what it is. It's a weird plan. Very strange. But this is the best way I could think to do this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a bunch of packagers and just package the large shuttle up and drive it to the other base with us on the rover. We're going to drive the shuttle on the rover with us. Yeah, to the other base. So I would have to take the fuel off. I would literally just have to take everything off of this and package everything up. So I'm going to need a lot of packagers. I'm going to need one for the thruster, need one for the shuttle itself. I might just ditch these because they're cheap. I mean, well, they're the same cost as a packager a piece, so I guess I'll just package them up because it's the same price either way. Never mind, I will not, because they're going to take up a lot of space in the rover, which means I'm not like, look, I don't want to, look, all right? Just realize I don't have to ditch them anyways. If I leave them here on the home planet right now, then I'll come back and get them later. Right now, I'm just going to take everything that, like, I won't worry about this yet even. I just need the RTG, which needs to be packaged up. So actually, I only need 3 packagers. That's not that big of a deal. I just need 3 packagers. Okay. We are here landing, and we have to go to the other base. It's been a very long time since the last cut, because I had to get up and go do something. So, I hope it makes sense that I'm talking to you now. I think this is what I was supposed to do next. But yeah, we're just going to package up everything and take it with us. So we're going to start with the big man himself, because I do want to figure out how we're going to allocate space for that. And it's gone. Okay, no, it's not, which is good, because if it was gone, that would be unfortunate as opposed to fortunate. So the thing is, we can leave as many of these here as we need to, because once the rover itself is where it needs to be, we can fly the shuttle back here and pick this up, right? So we can just take this to the other base by shuttle. The thing we can't really take to the other base by shuttle is the rover itself, because it's such a big guy, right? So we don't care about this at all. It can just sit here forever. And now we got the real man, right? The real man himself, the RTG. And so I just realized I didn't need to package the RTG because it was just going to go on here and stay here forever anyways, but doesn't matter. And so yeah, like I said, leave as many of these as we need to, because we can bring those back by the shuttle, no problem at all. So I don't actually have to package that up either. I brought a lot of packagers for no reason, as it turns out. I didn't think this through because I don't do thinking things through. So yeah, we can just put, we didn't need to package anything except for the shuttle itself, so that's cool. I just have these now. Whatever. But yes, that's everything. We're just going to take the shuttle with us because, of course, we are. And so, yeah. Whip out our compass by holding R and going to the top like this. Fun fact for you. And the green beacon is our other base. Because if you didn't know, beacons will show from any distance at all, right? So as far away as you are from a beacon, even if it's on the other side of the planet like this one, you will still be able to see it on your compass. And so we just got a long drive ahead of ourselves. And, I'm going to time-lapse this because I want you to be there with me, but not the entire time because that would be a little much. That was really uncalled for. But we're here now, and so that's what matters. And now I'm going to basically run to the other side of the planet, shuttle style, to get our stuff back. And it's really no big deal. All you gotta do is just press C, then you are in orbit, and then you can shoot to the other side of the planet very quickly. That's why we love getting around the planet by way of shuttle, because, I mean, you saw how long it took by rover. That was time-lapsed, and it still took forever. And now that we're on a shuttle, we just got to orbit around at beyond light speed, and then just click on it whenever we see it, so no big deal. But yes, as promised earlier, I mean, it really is just as simple as snatching this, placing it on there, and then snatching these and placing them on there, and then we can get them straight back to the rover where they belong. We can also take this, because that was left a long time ago here, so we could test if the medium generators would work outside of render distance with this, and they do. So yeah, I forgot to like definitively answer that question way back then. When we did the automatic research video, we were worried that even though this would work outside of render distance, like while we were on other planets and stuff, that maybe the tapper and everything else wouldn't work, but they do, because I always get 160 bytes per minute, so that's pretty good. We confirmed that that just works all the time, even with the medium generators, which means you don't need to get RTGs for that, which is really, really nice. But it is actually time to use our soil to scrap system, now that we have the soil at the soil to scrap system. Oh, dear. What have I done? I broke his back. Oh, never mind, he's good. But yeah, so this stopped working again, which confirms that these just get mad at tappers eventually because they're hostile plants. So get out of here. We don't need you anymore. We are going to be using... Actually, now that I think about it, it might be if we plant our own that it has a better attitude about it, because if you plant your own, they also stop trying to kill you. So that's one thing that is a good sign as to maybe it would work better if you planted your own. So more testing to do. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Okay, so does it work? No, it doesn't work. They have to be natural. They have to be all natty. So whoever left the suggestion to me, I hope that you roll your ankle in your yard because there was a pothole that you didn't know about. Yeah. So yeah, everyone who suggested that to me, that's how I feel about you. Honey pot is more reliable, even though it's not as fast. And so yeah, you learn something new every day. And then you learn something new that contradicts the usefulness of the last thing that you learned that was something new that you learned that day. Okay, though, we have everything set up now except for a place to store that. And so what needs to happen is I need more helium because I need to make nanocarbon alloy. I zoned out real bad. My bad. Let's restart. I need helium for nanocarbon alloy, and I'm going to get the other stuff I need a nanocarbon alloy for using the scrap we get from this, obviously, because even though scrap isn't usually the best way to get nanocarbon alloy, it is when you have this much soil that you can turn into scrap. And that's why I love these systems, because if you do the math on it, how much soil does it take to get one nanocarbon alloy? Well, it takes like 6.25, I think, and if you use the tapper to get the organic, which I will, then it only takes 6 soil canisters, I think, to get a nanocarbon alloy when you turn it into scrap. So that's what we like. That's a good conversion rate. So if I just run a bunch of scrap back to the trade platform at home, I could turn this into 4 nanocarbon alloy, this into 4 nanocarbon alloy, this into... So you get the picture. Very efficient way to get it, because it really doesn't take that long to fill a rover like this up. And when I add more trailers, it's going to be even neater. But for now, this is what we got, and this is plenty. And so I need to both get a bunch of scrap turned into scrap, but also I need helium. So what I'm going to do is, instead of gathering helium on the shuttle, which I recommended you do, that's kind of more of what I would do when I'm getting my first few sets of the gases you need. But in the late game, it is best to just have something that constantly gets what you need so that you can come pick it up in large amounts whenever you want, instead of needing a dedicated shuttle for that, right? So shuttle is great when you don't want to set up a base on every planet, but once you get powerful enough to where you can, definitely just set up a base on every planet. So that's what we have here, and now that I think about it, really good idea that I added extra generators, because I'm now deciding that what I'm going to do is just run this back here to some atmospheric condensers that gather, methane and helium, because that's the gases on this planet. So this is going to be like our Aatrox main base, I guess. This is where we're going to get Aatrox's gases, which, again, that's just going to be methane and helium. And I think there's also sulfur here, but sulfur is better on Calidor, so I'm not going to worry about sulfur for this planet. Oh, but yes, we got our large storages back on our shuttle, so it's like it never happened. What a beautiful method for, you know, transporting a rover to the other side of the planet. Just carry the shuttle on the rover, and you don't have to worry about anything wild happening. I don't know what that sentence exactly meant, but it was a good try, I guess. Anyways, yes, like I said, the next step is going to be getting the atmospheric condenser set up there, so I'm gonna craft one of those, obviously, and well, two of those actually, and then two platforms for those to sit on, and so that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, also I lied. I will be taking a trade platform, because I just realized, you know, like if I want to expand a base or something on Aatrox, and I have the sort of scrap thing there already, then I can just use that scrap to expand the base, no problem. So I kind of just want to make that base self-sufficient. If it's as easy as just taking a trade platform, that's the only extra thing I need to make that base entirely self-sufficient, so I figured why not. Yeehaw! Let me borrow that. Oh, I missed. Well, well, well. Let me borrow that. I'm gonna take a full one back to the base so I don't have to gather soil all the time at home. I can just have it for free, which is the best way to have it. And so, yes, we have a platform for the trade platform, as you can see right here. So that's going to go on that. We're going to put it wherever because it doesn't need power. Then we're going to get these atmospheric condensers set up. Now, here's the thing. We are going to need more power running to this base to run atmospheric condensers full time, because the thing about atmospheric condensers is that they draw 20 units of power a second a piece, which means that if all of this was going to just them, it still wouldn't be enough. They take a lot of power. So all we got to do is get another one of these set up, which I'm pretty sure, by the looks of things here, is going to mean that all we need to do is just get another smelter. I don't think we need another honeypot, honestly. I think we just need another smelter, and then we can do 4 more medium generators. But we don't have a lot of tungsten left, because I'm always spending tungsten on medium generators, so we're going to need to set this base up first and use it on low power before we can actually end up using it on full power, which is weird, but that's the way things are. I'll connect it just because it looks good, but again, it doesn't really take any power, and so we're going to get started on running this thing. We need some, see, that's why you don't, that's why you filter your auto arms. That's why you filter them. Okay, so let's try that again. We craft one, put it here to filter it, and then we're all set. So that's a big yikes. Don't know where we're going to put that. Actually, I do, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. We don't have an oxygenator on our base right now. I also need to park this somewhere else so I stop breaking its back every time I land. So, yeah. This is fine for now. But yep, just take any of these off and put it here. And then all you got to do is just output's already enabled. So all we got to do is just put an empty soil canister on it, and then it starts automatically making resin, and then we automatically craft small canisters by blue circle, green button, and then it all happens. Now, like I said, since this isn't going anywhere, right, this is going to present an issue where all of the soil canisters basically just keep crafting because we did not add a failsafe, but I don't really care right now because eventually we're going to have somewhere to store it, so this would run completely out far before we filled up our storage, right, instead of it just continuing to craft the canisters. So it's going to be like a temporary issue, really. But yes, as soon as we get our first scrap, we're just going to start delivering ourselves some resin, and getting resin with scrap is pathetic. It's a bad idea. Getting resin with scrap is super inefficient, but we are going to do that anyways because, again, we have so much soil that we can kind of just do whatever with it. It doesn't matter if it's efficient because we just have so much. Because one scrap here is the same as one soil canister full of soil, right? If we put a soil canister full of soil in the centrifuge, it's going to come out as one scrap in the end. So right now, resin is twice as expensive by getting it in the trade platform, but I don't have a soil centrifuge that's not part of the automation system over here yet. So I have two choices. Either get it at the really expensive price here in the trade platform, or go back to the home planet and get some, or stop all of this and take some from there. And I'm just going to take the expensive option because I don't really care that much. Oh yeah, I just realized that not everybody knows everything I've ever said, so I guess I should reiterate something that I already knew about the trade platform that maybe you want to know. So when it comes to converting soil to scrap, some things get more expensive, as I already said earlier. An example of that would be, obviously, if I could find it, resin, compound, they get more expensive. So does organic. But some things get cheaper, like clay. No, clay's more expensive too. My bad. Clay's more expensive too. This is, like I said, just look at where it says one scrap here and imagine one soil canister because it's the same conversion right there. So In the trade platform, we get 2 clay for 1 scrap. In the soil centrifuge, we get 3 clay for 1 soil. So it's cheaper here by, you get a whole less clay, so that's not good. But some things like quartz are the same. Wait, the same. The same. So some things are the same. I actually didn't know that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of just like booking it here, you know? I'm just trying to do it. Yeah. But I never paid attention to quartz because who cares about quartz? They're kind of rare. But what I was really getting to, my main point here, is that some things are cheaper. Graphite is an example. Graphite is twice as cheap in the trade platform as if you just did it with the soil centrifuge. So it's better to convert your soil to scrap to get graphite, which is nice when you have a system like this because you can just take the scrap after it's converted and then get your graphite. And then there's stuff that you obviously just can't get in the soil centrifuge. And that's the main reason you want to use this system, right? Because there are certain things you cannot get with the soil centrifuge that now you can. So it's basically like you're just using this as a extended soil centrifuge that allows you to get more expensive stuff, which is nice. And ammonium is another thing, twice as cheap here. So turn your soil into scrap before you get ammonium. And then, yeah, just all the rest of this stuff you just can't get otherwise. And so if you didn't know, all of the raw mineral type stuff, right? Like everything that's not a gas or an alloy, you can get in the trade platform. So once you get this set up, you can just get your large rover full of soil and get anything, right? That's why I'm always saying this is so cool, because you can get anything in the game with it, as long as you have AFK atmospheric condensers, right? Then you get all those gases. Then all you gotta do is just get a bunch of scrap and then turn it into whatever you want. But I mean, yes, it just makes everything easier. I mean, take literally any example, you know what I mean? Like lithium, that's something we struggled to get earlier. Now all we gotta do is just plop a bunch of scrap on here, which is not very hard to get for us. I mean, we're still on that first medium soil caster, right? We're still on that first one, and we're still just getting scrap and getting scrap. So, I mean, lithium, for example, I'm just going to take more of that back to the base because I feel like it. That's how abundant the scrap is. I can just get things because I want to. It's never hard to get anything again after you set this up. Anyways, yes, I guess now that I realize it, the main idea of the video really is over now. I was just sort of locked in on trying to get these set up, so basically I've just been rambling for a while now, thinking that I was going to eventually get onto something else that pertained, but this doesn't pertain, because yes, the video is in fact just over now. Nothing else that's happening right now is relevant, and so I'm just going to go ahead and, just so you know, I'm going to end the video now, but all I'm doing off camera is I'm just going to replace these large platform A's with large platform B's, so there's a fun fact for you. Goodbye.